The state of running backs in the NFL is reaching a fever pitch with the latest drama surrounding Jonathan Taylor. Over the weekend, Taylor and his team met with Jim Irsay, the ever-outspoken owner of the Indianapolis Colts. Shortly after their meeting, the reports came out that Taylor was requesting a trade. Now, this has already happened with Austin Eckler, and he's clearly still a Charger at the time of this recording. So chances are, not much will happen, because not only would a team have to give up assets for a position that has been shown to be undervalued, but Taylor's group also reportedly wants a contract reaching $16 million per year. If the team that drafted him and rode his back to a playoff appearance a couple years ago wouldn't be willing to pay that money without giving up anything else, why would another team come in to make that deal after giving up draft capital or other players? But because it's fun to speculate, let's look at the top 3 teams that might be interested in acquiring Taylor, what they'd have to give up, and how their team would look different with that kind of talent in the backfield. Before I dive into the teams though, I want to recognize that Jonathan Taylor is a top 5 back in the league. He deserves to be spoken of in the same conversation with Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and Saquon Barkley. Without the injury last season, he was on pace for 1,300 rushing yards in a season where the team had no clue who should be quarterback, and they were losing nearly every game by double digits. He's good for 40 catches a season and will likely remain a double-digit touchdown guy for the foreseeable future. This would be a big move for any team that had the guts to go get him. So who makes the most sense? First up on this list is the Buffalo Bills. They're likely to be connected to any and all running back free agents and trade targets. They let Devin Singletary walk in free agency, traded away Zach Moss in order to get Nyheim Hines from Indianapolis, and now Hines is hurt. Their running back room is looking a little thin, and it's arguably the only weakness to this entire team, at least during the regular season. They've already traded for a running back from Indy, so the relationship is there, and perhaps the baseline to decide what value to bring to the table. So if they make the move for Taylor, there's no doubt that the Colts will try to squeeze every drop of capital out of JT that they can, but in reality, he's worth a second-day pick. I would guess that the trade offer would look like a third that could turn into a second-round pick, and perhaps a young prospect on the offensive or defensive line. Let's go with former 6th-rounder Luke Tenuta. It's not a ton in return for an all-pro running back, but he was injured last year and he might be holding out, so the leverage is on his side. I don't think the Colts will receive offers much greater than this, but what would the Bills look like with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield? I believe it would allow them to play ball control a little more often in the second half, which should limit the other team's ability to make comebacks on them, looking at the Minnesota and Jets games from last season. It would be incredibly valuable to have a player that can carry the ball between the tackles, get chunk yards, finish in the red zone, and be a safety valve for Allen on pure passing plays. Taylor on the Bills turns them into co-favorites with the Chiefs to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. The second team that I think should kick the tires on Taylor and see if they can get him for a good deal is the Los Angeles Rams. This team is known for giving up their draft picks to pursue Super Bowl endeavors, and as it currently stands, they have the majority of their 2024 draft picks. This could be the last season that McVay is in LA, and if Stafford is healthy, then they need to go all in because that window is closing quickly. I think similarly to the Bills, they could get JT for a conditional second-round pick, and I would throw in a 6th as well. I don't see any young players on the Rams that they'd be happy to part with and the Colts would want. You don't have to look far to see what this Rams team could look like with Taylor on the roster. Look at the 2018 Rams that made it to the Super Bowl on Todd Gurley's back. Taylor and Kupp would likely combine for well over 60% usage, and they'd be in their best position to win the Super Bowl, well, since winning the Super Bowl. McVay is known for using his running backs creatively and loving a one-cut runner who gets downfield quickly. That is 100% what Taylor is capable of doing. He also, as mentioned previously, is a high-level receiver for the position, which would benefit Stafford greatly. He needs to get rid of the ball quickly this year to stay upright and hopefully remain on the field. The Rams currently sit in 3rd place in the NFC West in my rankings, but adding Taylor jumps them into 2nd with strong playoff hopes. A lot still rests on Stafford, and they could use another wide receiver to complement Kupp, but JT immediately upgrades this offense and makes them a scary opponent. The last team that I'd like to see give the Colts a call are a team with a running back in a similar situation, looking for more money but currently locked in on the franchise tag, the Dallas Cowboys. To me, they should offer Pollard straight up for JT because Taylor is going to cost more financially. If they need to add a day 3 pick to sweeten the deal, then I'm fine with that, but Taylor fits the Cowboys scheme to a T and will remind Cowboys fans a lot of rookie Ezekiel Elliott. Dak needs a stud running back to take the pressure off him, both literally with pass blocking and checkdown passes, as well as figuratively. They require more star power on offense so that the whole weight of the world doesn't fall on Prescott to perform. He's become more turnover prone in the last year, and if videos out of training camp are any indication of where things are headed, then I think we might see even more interceptions in his future. Taylor would help the Cowboys compete with the Eagles for the top spot in the NFC East, as well as make them more legitimate Super Bowl contenders. That defense is going to be top 5 in most statistics, and just need an offense that can move the chains, hold onto the ball, and put up points with the majority of the league. The Cowboys have become a pass-happy air raid offense in the last couple seasons, and that doesn't help the strength of their team. Taylor will increase the time of possession and help close out those one-score and overtime games that they lost last year. So who should trade for Jonathan Taylor? Does he deserve a bigger contract? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see y'all next time.